Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Swartini. I'm English and Literature Department student. So today I would like to explain about what the English language teaching and then discourse analysis. So first of all, we have to know about the concept of English language teaching and the relationship between English language teaching and discourse analysis. So the first thing we have to know about definition about language teaching. So based on the expert say that one of the experts say that being clear about what teaching is matters really because how teachers understand teaching very much affect what they actually do in the classroom. So it's from Paul Hurst in 1975. So it means that every teacher have to have a method, have to have known or insight or knowledge about what the method or what the concept that they use in the classroom. So it's a very effect for their interaction or for their action for their children. So they have to know about everything about the method and the concept what they want to do in the classroom or their student. It's very important. Dormitory. The next is about what is teaching. What is teaching? So two ways at least can be used to know the definition of teaching. In Indonesia, before pandemic is coming, it's always use virtual and no ritual way because they think that it's very useful for interaction directly with their student. And then in other country there are a lot of school or university that use virtual virtual method to interaction for their student. So virtual way it's always use computer or phone or smartphone or something like that to see or to interaction to study in the classroom. So we just need a quota or data plan and then advice. When ritual way is antonym of virtual way, it's like we always apply in the classroom, like we see or we study or we interaction each other directly between student and the teacher. So something like that. Next we have virtual way defines teaching. So in the PPT we have three definitions about teaching language teaching. So the first, impart knowledge to or instruct or someone as to how to do something. The second, the word like teacher doesn't help a student to learn. And the last, the act or profession of a person who imparts knowledge or skills. So I think I personally always say that teacher is like medium to connect for us, to connect to us. How we understand the insight that they talk with us. So they want to us to know everything about the topic. Yeah, so something like that. In addition to give us a knowledge or skill, they teach us. So from the definition, from the three definition from other sources, we can make conclusion what is teaching is. So teaching is like teacher is imparting us to give us knowledge or insight, and the second, they help us to learn something or to learn knowledge or insight that we want to know. So before the teacher start to teach us, they always apply three stages, like planning. They make a planning or they make a little notes to what they want to do, what they would like to do in the classroom, and then implementation or apply what they have write down in the paper or their concept or their method that they want to do. And then the last is evaluation, what they are have made mistake in the classroom. So it will be better if they always apply that method or that concept. So what a definition about the three stages that I have explained. So planning, it's like pre-teaching. So what a definition about the stages that I have told you. It's like planning or pre-teaching, and then implementing, and then evaluation. So the definition about the first planning. Planning, it's like what they want to do in the classroom. So it's like before we act, before we action, or before we teach the student in the classroom, we have a planning, we have a what they want to do. So it's like that. And then the secondly is implementing. After we make a plan, after we make a lot of plan what they want to do, so we have to apply it in the classroom. So it's like organizing before we action. And the last is evaluation. So all of that organization, for example organization, and then they have event, and then after that they would like to briefing or evaluation what the mistakes before or during the event. So we can know everything about the mistake, and we can do better than before. So the next, what we have to analyze before we make planning. So I have write that the preparation that they have to do before we start the teach a student the classroom. The first type of teaching, or the method that they bring in the classroom, and then the goals, what the goals after we teach the student, and then what the material that they want to bring in the classroom, and then the next we make syllabus. So I think before we start the class, so we have to have a syllabus is all of that the teacher should do in the classroom, something like that. So what is while teaching? While teaching is like refers to their the action of a teacher, what they do in the classroom at the moment when they impart the knowledge or skill to their student. When they do while teaching in the classroom, they have instruction for their self, what they want to do, like what they do in to starting the class, like uh, whether it's like a prayer for the God, how they presenting the materials, and then until the end. So it's like while teaching, what the teachers do at the moment. So it is the called while teaching. So what is actually teaching method? Teaching teaching method, it's like how teacher presenting the materials in the classroom, and then the goal is encourage the student to make actively in the classroom. So because I'm the student, I know what the happen in the classroom. Almost the student is just listen, sit, and then something like that for during the class. They don't want to speak up, or they don't want to push up themselves to speak in the public, and then uh, when the teacher asks something, so maybe it will be make a teacher to do what they plan to change the principle of student. So this is the Smith methods and techniques. I want to rate all of that. So the first, teacher center methods. It's like what teachers should do when they impart the knowledge. Like The first is talking. It's talking, and then after that they explaining, and then showing the PPT if they have, and then after showing the PPT, they ask a student to make a question, and then making some notes to, yeah, maybe to remember what the material for the class. And the next, active methods. It's like supervise student practice, and then discussion. When a teacher is explaining, they ask a student to discussion. Hmm. And then make a group work, and then make a games. After that, role play, drama and simulation. Then a seminar if they have a seminar. Then student center methods, or that the student should do. It's like ready for learning, private study and homework, assignment and exercise, project and reports, independent learning, and self-directed learning. So those are the student and the teachers do in class. And the next, what is post teaching? Post teaching is consists of three things, like pro teaching, post teaching. Post teaching is referred to after after um, after impart the knowledge or skill for the student. And then eval learning is for, it's like a given any judgment for the action or the how professional the teacher in the classroom. And being effectiveness, it's like when the teacher analyze what the result of after they impart the knowledge or skill for their student. So how effectiveness and how professional the student and the teacher in the classroom. From those are definition about planning, evaluating, empowering, imparting knowledge. So definition, what is actual definition about language? Teaching. Teaching is a process imparting of teacher to student to give the insight or knowledge for of the group student or the student self. We have explained about planning, the process of teaching, and then evaluating. So about definition of teaching, this is there is an expert to definition about that as the process of attending to people's needs, experience and feeling, and making specific intervention to help them learn particular things. So every teacher have a specific subject to bring that for the student. So this is the conclusion of English language teaching. If the notion of teaching is broken into the area of teaching English, then English language teaching can be interpreted as the process of imparting skills and knowledge of English to a group of students whose first language is not English through the implementation of three main stages, like pre-teaching or planning, while teaching, or give instruction, as well as post-teaching, like measure learning outcomes. So this is the conclusion of definition about English language teaching. So language teaching is like we bring the student to study about language, English language, and then we apply the three stages that I have explained, that I have explained, like pre-teaching, post-teaching, evaluating. So next, when we need to know what the relationship between discourse analysis and then English language teaching, we need to know two things, like theoretical perspective and then the trend of factual perspective in Indonesia. So we have to things that we need to know. So what are you talking about? And expert have a definition about that. It's from MIT 2010. Like most English teachers tend to teach their students English in isolation without use. As a result, the knowledge of context is lacking, and when it's time to practice something they have learned in the classroom and real life interaction, the student encounter difficulties to use the language socially appropriate and find it difficult to recognize the function of others addressed by another speaker of English. And then for factual perspective from Indonesia, many students of English encounter the same problem as stated in the theory. This happens because the student receive many inputs of English form but less in English functions. Teaching English through drilling the rules of grammar and memorizing vocabulary has been the teaching orientation of many English teachers in Indonesia. In real life, I have found a lot of students that know the theoretical of English, but it's less for uh, from mm, from function side. I don't know well, but I think because they have no vocabulary to practice each other for student for people another people something like this because I be like that. So because this case the expert give an judgment and a comment for the teacher that teaching about language. They have to know about discourse analysis because discourse analysis is to analyze the function of English, the function of language, so we can try or try our mind, our brain to uh, like critical thinking, so we know what the function of English when while we know the grammar, the vocabulary, and then the form of English, the form of language. So what can we learn from the theory? Um, we learn we know the form of language, but we don't know the function of language. For example, when the student from Indonesia interaction with the native speaker from America, for example, United States or United Kingdom. For example, as native English speaker offers something to eat to the student by asking what would you like to eat, and then the student from Indonesia immediately respond that everything is okay, but we know grammatically is correct, but the function of language is exactly wrong, false, because um, we know that everything is okay. It means that whatever they buy, food, it's okay. We ask, um, we take it, but it's not a good response. We have to give the specific response. Like I wanna Starbucks, or I wanna fried chicken. So it is the correct answer. So we have to give the student a specific answer. So maybe that's a relationship between discourse analysis and English language teaching. And then why we have to know why the student should know about uh, discourse analysis. Maybe that's all my explanation about that. Thank you for